Hello, Steve White, Trickboy89 for Steve Arts 89. I'm enjoying telling stories of the actors and celebrities that I've met from Star Trek at the conventions over the years. One of the more memorable ones was Gates McFadden. Now, Gates McFadden had a reputation for being difficult, or challenging, as they were referring to her at that particular convention. People were asking, oh, what's she like? Very challenging. She's a very challenging person. I'm like, is that code for the B word? Well, like, what are you saying? And I had that experience with her, not in a bad way. She did the usual stuff, she did the Q&A and the autographs and everything, and she was fine. I remember really wanting to meet her because I'd seen a news article on TV covering a convention, I think around the time of Generations, and they had Walter Koenig and Gates McFadden had come to Australia for a convention, and they interviewed her and they showed her going to the convention. It was the first time I'd seen footage from an Australian convention, because I was aware of American conventions. I'm like, we do conventions? I really wasn't aware of them. I think James Doohan had done one for Generations as well, but I wasn't aware that we were doing them. I didn't realise. So I got really excited to think I'm going to go to one, and a couple of years later I was in Melbourne, so I could go to them when they had them. But I missed a couple just because I wasn't connected. I didn't know how to find out about them, because the internet was there, but we still weren't really using it for everything. You sort of had to rely on flyers and things in like collectible stores and stuff like that, and sometimes you just would miss them, or people would take them all and then you wouldn't know about an event or something. That's how grassroots it was, which was great, but there's some downsides like missing stuff. But yeah, so when we're getting our photograph, we'd already heard she was difficult, and I was like, oh no. Because I am ugly, and I only look less ugly from one side. As you see, all my videos, I'm always facing that way because I look ugly from the other side, or uglier. And I just said to her, I'm only photograph on my left side, so I'll have to stand on this side, because all the actors were standing on the other side, because that was her good side as well. So she stood facing the opposite way. So we're both standing facing that way, because this is both our good side. Neither one of us was going to face the other way and look bad in the photo. So she's like, didn't care about me in my photo. She's like, this is my good side. You can just stand next to me and face the same way. It was really funny. And I'm like, I respect that, because there's no way in hell I would take a photo from my bad side either. I never do. Look at any of my photos. If you see a photo of me from the other side, I flipped it. Seriously. And she was the same, because, or at least she was that weekend, because I've seen photos of her from other angles now, but that was what she preferred. So that was interesting, and she did have a reputation for being difficult. And I know at the time, I think she was doing a lot of conventions because her parents were sick and she couldn't be away from them for too long, so she couldn't really like go away and do a film or a TV series or something, because she could sort of go away for a weekend, do a convention somewhere, get some money, sort of, just earn some money, just sort of. I think that was what she had said in an interview, or one of the people had asked her about that, and I sort of understood. I felt like she was sort of there because she kind of had to be. She really didn't want to be there. She just sort of, it was just work. And yeah, she was. But later there was like a like cocktail party sort of thing, and she did come to it for about a minute, because she was supposed to be there. She sort of walked in, said hello to a couple of people, and then pretty much was about to walk out. And I just grabbed her and I said, I really appreciated the gay sort of undertones in like that episode that you did where blah blah blah, and what that said about no difference between the one I'm talking about, where the trill, the original trill and all that, and because she had talked about that in the Q&A section of that, and she said and like I just sort of thanked her for that, and somehow I managed to get a hug out of her. She gave me a hug, and then she left. I was the last person she spoke to at the cocktail thing. When I went back to the other group of people, said, how did you get a hug out of her? And I said, I don't know, I'm just special. She just wanted to give me a hug. But that was nice though, because she appreciated that I was, like that meant something. And, artists, actors, they appreciate when, they've done something that actually has resonated, or someone appreciates, and it's not just a popularity. Oh, I love your show, it's so popular. Oh, you're so pretty, you're so hot. It's like that meant something, that said something, that, that mattered. You need something that mattered. So she appreciated that. And I'm going to end this. I was nearly going to talk about her and her space son at the same time, but I'm going to give him a separate video. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Did you meet Gates? Was she challenging? Because I must admit, I saw something just recently, and it was on Twitter, and I thought it was funny, when she appeared on Good Morning America with Jonathan Frakes and Patrick Stewart. They had brought those actors in and they were next to the interviewer, and she was going to be sitting on the end, and she was like, no, I don't sit on the end. She stepped over the table that was in front of them and stood in between the host and the other two actors who were supposed to be, because they were the more important cast members and the male actors, and they were supposed to be the priority, and she was like, no, not doing that. I'm like, I respect her for that. And I had to mention that because I just thought that was funny. And that just, she displayed that attitude and that confidence and that, thing.